Nice little beheading there. PvP mode engaged. I think, honestly, I think even like the peasant militia probably starts out better equipped than this. PvP would be a lot of fun in this game, although the problem is I doubt that it was programmed with PvP in mind, so I do have to wonder if they could even hack into the game without a million man-hours of work. These peasants have a death wish. Just gonna fist fight these knights. Peasants are stuck with lowborn. Yeah, militia, you can't hire anybody who's not lowborn. However, as it happens, the militia background is lowborn itself, so they're able to be hired. And the thing is that like it's a perfectly good background, so you pretty much just hire a bunch of militia and you're good to go, in my opinion. But I haven't actually tried it more than looking at it for like 10 minutes, so maybe it doesn't work out that way in reality. Are raiders lowborn? They might. I don't think raiders are technically considered lowborn. There are some things in this game where you would think that they would be lowborn, but they aren't. Honestly, you'd think you would be able to hire disowned nobles too and bastards and stuff, but nope. No, bastards are highborn, I think. I have a list somewhere. You can find it on the wiki too. I try to only hire lowborn guys on in the cultist run because only lowborn can be converted. Raider nobility. Well, there's lowborn, there's highborn, and then there's just like no association, or like combat affiliation, or certain other things. So it's possible to be neither lowborn nor highborn, but the militia start actually stops you from hiring anybody who's not lowborn. So, as you can imagine, it rules out a lot of guys. Boom. Alright, 55 armor. Technically I could give him the reinforced hide, I guess. Yeah. There are thieves, they make pretty good melee guys, for sure. God damn, I am well equipped. Three fatigue, 2 fatigue. Brawlers will save peasant runs. Well, brawlers, farmers, honestly I mean, I bet your early game is easy as hell with militia, if I had to guess, except for the fact that you start with 1,000,000 dudes. I would almost like fire all my bad dudes immediately just to cut down on costs. So I assume that you should do that, which makes it hard to. I mean, you almost want to like roleplay as a big army, but because of the way the game scales, I don't know if you can get away with that. Plus, I did start a run off camera on militia, and the weirdest thing about it is that your guys start at a bunch of different morale levels. So the first thing you have to do is get drunk. Alright, as much as it's cool that we have these boar spears, I don't think I'm going to use them on these guys. We've trained them up well enough that none of them except for Goo Boy have crappy enough melee skill to need the spears, and that's really only because we have pierced arm muscles. Okay, should we take this caravan? Yeah, we should. Dude, this really is like a murder highway. Just like... How do I keep broken, trashy clothes? I sell them when I can, but is there a way to throw things away on the inventory screen? If there is, I haven't found it. Bro, that's another padded leather. Is that lamellar armor? Yeah, that guy has leather lamellar armor, I think. And the other one has padded leather. This is the trick, man. Just stabbing caravan guards to death is the big trick. What day is this even? Not very late. Something like that. We're not even to day 20 yet, I'm pretty sure. And we've got just this team of king pimps over here. This team of cell swords. It certainly seems that way. Okay, wait a minute. That's the guard that I want to keep alive. Certainly no thug ban. Thug life, brother. Alright, I want to attack with Enish because he's got the pimp weapon, so what we'll do is we'll put Alf here. Move Enish up. He fails, that's okay. They don't want to meet a cell sword. I think I'll go ahead and break out Blokes' dagger. Yeah. Black Knight class. That kind of exists actually in the Survivor trait. You just live through anything. 90% chance of survival, but you just keep getting permanent injuries. Assuming you don't get insta-killed. You know what? I want to knock this asshole back probably, but that's 45% chance. 44% chance. There we go. It's a little early to break out the daggers, but I'm greedy. %18 chance to hit. I shouldn't be doing this. I've gotten too brave. Perhaps. Yeah, no, we need our real weapons. We're gonna get owned if I keep doing this. Alf wants to shield wall. Or at least I need to kill the caravan hands first rather than trying to puncture this early in the fight. Okay, well that was helpful. Come on, man, I have shield wall up. Gotta be kidding me with this. Spear on high ground is scary. It's true. It's also a boar spear. You know what? I think I might just rally to fix Blokes' morale. He's got his stupid dagger out though. I'm more concerned for Alf, by the way, with his low HP. Get my Scramble Sacks back out. Son of a bitch. Okay, this guy's, he's fleeing now. That's good. Get fucked! Get fucked! Apparently taking the high ground, they didn't like that. They didn't like that one bit. Alright, buckaroos. Good. Problem solved. Uh-oh, stinky! I can still try for his armor, I guess. Honestly, it's safe for me to attempt on this guy, too. Or is it? Jesus. There we go. Mazanaka has good armor still, so he goes up here. Golden Dog Man would like to reach this dude, but can't. So we'll just kill that and take a step forward, except we can't. Fatigue, man. Adrenaline just kills fatigue. No dagger. He's running. Paint Enish's helmet with plaque. You better believe I'm gonna run them down. Yeah, I very carefully picked the right banner for the barbarians. Paint happy barbarians. Well, if I find some paint, or perhaps make some, I still don't know if I have access to a taxidermist with all the noble houses I've pissed off. I'm hoping that we get the noble house war crisis, but I like to random crises, you know, rather than trying to min-max that way. Stop the donkeys, 9 stabs per donkeys. I don't feel good about killing donkeys, but the loot's too good. Alright, leather lamellar armor. And we got another boar spear. And we got some cloth rolls out of this. And another dagger. It's too bad you can't get named items out of fighting caravans. Or at least I don't think you can. Look at our loot, man. Our inventory is almost full. Outrageous. Yeah, this is a legitimate company of sellswords, man. Full on armor. We just got rid of the last of our shitty barbarian armor. Suddenly looking very legit. Named or only bought off bandit leaders, knights in noble war, and from high-tiered enemy locations. Middle left guy wearing shit barbarian armor. Oh, he is. It's 95 though. That's actually the best barbarian armor. Don't you want some marksman? I will eventually. Yeah, I'd like to give him leather lamellar armor instead. Just for looks. It's the exact same actually as leather lamellar armor. -10 fatigue, 95 durability. Minus 10 fatigue, 95 durability. Hmm. Hey, Irie. How you doing? Just making a highlight. You hate PayPal? I hate PayPal as well. They're a very shitty company who, screw over people with extreme prejudice. You know, you have the wrong politics or you have the wrong profession, and they will happily stop you from making any money. What happened with PayPal for you, Irie? Did they screw you over somehow? I can teach you how to accept a Bitcoin if you like. One of your accounts is made in Brazil. So it has Brazilian phone numbers. Oh my god. Yeah, little things like that can really set off PayPal into just sort of screwing you over. I'm not going to chase those peasants. I read this one account of somebody who, he used PayPal to pay for Damask steel. You know, like it was like a sword made of Damask steel. And he, or I'm not sure if you're supposed to pronounce that Damascus or not. But anyway, he wrote that word in the PayPal note, and that was enough to make them freak out. And they're like, "Oh my God, we gotta lock this guy's account for 90 days." I don't think PayPal is owned by Amazon. To answer your question, Practice Pad, anybody who is insufficiently, well, no, I should say that anybody who is too far to the right will be banned from PayPal if their business has anything to do with the kind of speech that, well, you can look it up for yourself. They've kicked a lot of people off of their platform for having the wrong politics. Although, the only example that's coming to mind right now is actually Patreon doing something, so I'm sure if I checked my notes or Googled a bit, I could get that info for you. Just streaming right now. 13k legendary? Oh shit, there is. Sir Wighart's Shower. 27 to 86 damage. Oh man. Oh man. Well, we can't afford this. We can sell the wine, though. Using PayPal for hate speech with dumbass Castile. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You guys know how I feel about the whole hate speech thing, where it's like, how do you define this? You know, who gets to decide what hate speech is? You know. Yeah, that's true. We can sell the weird meat, huh? That's weird that the price is so high for the strange meat. Yeah, it's their platform, but the problem is that it's a monopoly, and they act like it's not a monopoly. But then you have you know, legitimate competitors come up, and they get driven out of business by this sort of I guess you would call it an oligopoly, because you've got the credit card corporations like MasterCard, Visa, and whatnot, who have total control of whether or not you get to transact with your card. So if they, I'm trying to remember who is it that was kicked off of PayPal. I might be thinking of Patreon actually, but it turned out that MasterCard actually told them to do it. And so you've got this sort of collection of financial companies that just have like total control over whether you get to have a livelihood on the internet, which is pretty horrible, and one of the reasons why I'm so into Bitcoin. Because I mean, yeah, under normal circumstances, I have a pretty libertarian type leaning to my politics, and it's like, under normal circumstances, I would say, okay, sure, they're a private business, they can do whatever, but where's the fucking alternative? Yeah, there isn't one. There's like total control over transactions in America anyway, and really any Western country that deals with the credit card associations. You know, it might be different somewhere like Russia where they have their own system. I think they have their own credit card system. But yeah, the only alternative is cryptocurrency. And while I am an advocate for cryptocurrency, I'm not going to pretend that your average person is going to want to sit down and learn that stuff, you know? The one place that cryptocurrency has really truly failed is that it has not become user-friendly, you know? Crypto's getting shut down. Well, I don't know about that, but isn't libertarian like no government intervention? Well, it's no regulation is the thing, but unfortunately, all I really mean by that when I said I had libertarian leanings is that I believe in freedom of association, and in general, I believe in the right for companies to do what they want. But this is only really true if a monopoly hasn't developed and sort of doesn't have the blessing of the government and whatnot. Politicians in Western countries scared people with 1984, and now the things you see in the news is devoid of common sense. Yeah, yeah, outright insane, absolutely. They're trying to say that they always call these protests that are happening, I call them riots, these riots that are happening lately, they're like, oh, well, it's a peaceful protest. And I saw, I think it was ABC News tweeting, oh, blah, this peaceful protest got really excited, and there's a picture of a fucking building on fire. And they're talking about how they like trashed a courthouse and set it on fire, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's peaceful. You know, it really is Orwellian. You had like the Ministry of Peace and the Ministry of Truth, and everything meant the opposite of what it actually meant. And I'm just waiting for people to sort of see this stuff and think, well, this is literal propaganda. I'm being propagandized, you know. 2 + 2 = 5. Yeah. Well, that's the thing though, is like the lesson of 1984 was that if you have enough power, oh, there's a code of scales available. If you have enough power, you can convince somebody that 2 + 2 = 5. You can convince them that the sky is red. Something in that book that Winston, the main character, keeps repeating is that sanity is not statistical, which is to say that even if a room full of people is saying something that's like totally batshit insane and untrue, you know, reality is objective and runs counter to that, you know. But at the end of the day, he gets broken. At the end of the book, he's broken, and he says that sanity is statistical, and that, you know, reality is whatever the party makes of it. And I think that's the world we're living in right now, unfortunately. Isn't a monopoly something that should happen in a non-regulated market? Well, yeah, that's the thing. Is like I believe in the government reaching in its hand and breaking up companies that establish a monopoly. I'm only libertarian up to a point, because when you have huge companies like, well, I'll give you an example. Like, let's say you have, you take the internet, and don't even get into the whole fucked up nature of how you can be financially deplatformed. Let's just talk about like regular deplatforming. So you've got, you know, you've got like Facebook, you've got Google, you've got Twitter, and maybe a couple other smaller sites, or maybe some stuff I'm not thinking of, but a very small handful of companies that essentially have a monopoly over speech on the internet, right? And they all have the same, Reddit, they all have the same sorts of ideas about what you're allowed to say on the internet, right? They have some kind of nebulous ideas about hate speech, which seem, the definition of hate speech seems to be expanding every single day. Like, I've had people say that I said something that was bigoted because I used the word retarded. As though it's okay to call somebody stupid, but if you call them really stupid, then there's a problem. So it's always being expanded, and all of these companies kind of have the same ideas about what should and shouldn't be allowed. So who's going to compete with Google? How is it possible to compete with Google, a company that essentially controls whether or not a website is even accessible to most people? I mean, sure, you can navigate to a site, but how is it that traffic organically gets to a website? It's through Google search engine, you know? And a lot of people don't know this, but even the lesser search engines typically just like pull Google's data, you know? So it's like if you're going to other search engines, you're essentially just going to Google or Bing by proxy, you know? Yeah, but what is hate speech? What actually, can you define that phrase? Because I've never, I don't know. To me, it seems like this sort of, this phrase that you get to use to tell someone to shut down a conversation. It's a linguistic boogeyman word. Yes, yes. Blokes, you and I are almost always on the same page about this shit, and it feels very, it's like a cool drink of water in a desert, you know, to meet somebody who has the ability to notice, you know. Sorry, I got off on a tangent there. We're not really playing Battle Brothers anymore. Let me get back to the game. So we have this big pile of shit that I want to sell. Wow, that's a pretty good price for these amber shards. That's almost double the worth. Are you serious? This has got to be the best price we're gonna get. Well, okay. Okay, practice pad. It promotes violence. Alright, I'm fine with not promoting violence. I mean, I'm anti-violence. Yeah, sure. Who isn't? But at some point, you have these fucking numbskulls, and I shouldn't even call them stupid because they know what they're doing. They're more insidious than dumb, who will say that words are violence. They will take the meanings of things and just change them. In order to gain political power. So now it's not, oh, well, you can't encourage violence. Well, now it's, you can't criticize this thing in this way or that thing in that way. And you can't, give reference to certain concepts or else you're being violent. Never mind the fact that you never raised your hand or actually, encourage violence in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter. Because now they've found a way to sort of bamboozle you. It's like, oh, well, you're being violent now. Yeah, what happened to Sticks and Stones, exactly. And I don't know if it's just that the culture is so feminized that everything's got to be like anodyne and totally sterile, totally harmless, totally fluffy. I don't know. Personally, I've always been able to get into an argument and not be bothered by it, you know? Where do we find your streams when Twitch bans you? They will. You go to rosecrypto.com and go to the contact page, and you will certainly find a link there. And I think there's like a bitwave.tv as the super duper free speech Twitch alternative, which just came out, I believe. And I don't know, maybe I'll make an account there at some point. I'll be able to say all the shit that I'd like to say. There are certain topics that I simply cannot even broach on Twitch because there's certain political speech on Twitch I couldn't tell you my opinion because I would be breaking their terms of service. And I'm not like some kind of demon person with horrible views, but there is just certain topics that you cannot discuss without holding the opinion that twitch.tv deems to be correct, or else they will ban you. Yeah, JK Rowling. Well, that's the thing, is as people move further and further to the left consumes itself, okay? They always need to have another, another thing to fight for. It's never enough for these people. So it's funny to me to see somebody like J.K. Rowling, who ostensibly is kind of like a lefty sort of feminist type, getting just fangoriously devoured by her own because she had the audacity to have some kind of wrong think, you know? You have a larger platform like the internet, you have to be polite to more people. Who gets to define what politeness is? And the thing is, check this out, like if I'm running my stream right now, right? You guys are cool, you guys are, as far as I can tell, pretty much all of you are mature adults, and you can, or at least act that way, and if you didn't like what I had to say bad enough, you could choose to walk out of the stream. And that's cool. That's kind of the beauty of being an adult, you can be around the people you want to be around, and if you really don't want to be around a certain person, just don't. But I tell you, that's not enough for these fucking people. If I were to give certain political opinions, it's not enough that they stay away from me, or they don't listen to me, or they don't give me money. They want to make sure I can't have a livelihood. I can't even have like an online social life or whatever. You can't have a platform, I guess is the word I'm looking for. They want to deplatform you because they feel like it is almost a religious mandate, The N-word. What about the N-word? Oh man. Well, you can't. The thing is that you cannot have a conversation if you are afraid to be offensive. I mean, what the fuck are we gonna do? Sit around agreeing with each other all day long while holding hands? Do you want to live that life? I would rather neck myself than live in a world where I can never disagree with someone. I will never accept that, because that would not be a life worth living. And it doesn't mean that I want to fight with everybody all the time, but I mean, that's the beauty of life to me, is you get to you get to you know, have these deep conversations with people, and at the end of the day, you can walk away from a conversation with somebody where you didn't agree on everything, and lo and behold, you don't hate that person, you know? Well, but that's the thing, Practice Pad, is I guarantee you there is somebody who would get offended by something that was said, you know, and there are plenty of people out there who will try to sort of shut down everything as soon as they're butthurt. They seem to think that they have this sort of right not to be offended, and that the world should bend itself to their will, you know, if, God forbid, they get upset about something, or they didn't like what was said. And to me, that's batshit crazy. But, I mean, right not to have their worldview shattered. They've done studies on that, man. Like, if you challenge somebody's worldview, their brain apparently does the same thing as if you were to, like, punch them in the face. It's an actual fight or flight response. If you say something that challenges their worldview, they really can't take it. Anyway, I should probably do some Battle Brothers stuff. What do you guys think? Should I buy this this scimitar? Oh wait, that's same damage, I think, as falchion. Maybe this this rondel dagger. Black paint is so dope. I don't want to spend money on paint, man. I'm sure I'll find some eventually. It'd be nice if it had some kind of mechanical advantage. You vote no buy? Oh man, it's so rare to see a rondel dagger though. 20 to 40 damage. I mean, that's like fast tracking my way into armor, really, because it lets me steal. Weapons are overpriced compared to competent dudes. That's fair. Sorry if that was a bit of a rant, but you guys, if I get on the wrong topic, that will happen. Are bollock daggers reinventing the definition of masculinity? They might be. Alright, so something I'm sad about. There was a whip here before, and now there is not. A worthy rant. Okay, good. I think the prices are actually pretty good here based on what we sold, so let's get rid of all this crap. What is it? Was it a cool whip? I think it was. I think it might have been a cool whip. Okay, keep some of these armors. Are you pronouncing the H? Whip. Oh, thank you, Strategy Gamer. I mean, that's the kind of thing I enjoy talking about this stuff, but you have to be so goddamn careful on these platforms because, you know, you even hint at having the wrong opinion and that it's time to bring out the long knives, and then they you know, they make sure that you're ended, so to speak, metaphorically speaking. Want to become famous? I do not want to become famous, bots. I think I'm gonna have to. Wow, it's like 3 bots in a row. What's the point of spamming with 3 separate bots? I don't get it. Like, the message gets sent either way. If you're gonna spam, you know. Bots mean you're getting popular? Hey. Well, I guess I haven't never really cared too much about being popular, but it is, it's nice to be able to sit down and kind of talk about things, you know. Even if in the context of a game. It must be a threshold, yeah, fair. Alright, so we have... Oh, I see what you mean, Marrow. Alright, we have 2,800 crowns. I could hire dudes, I could train dudes. I really want to get the Swordmaster, believe it or not. Fame is the last thing I want. Fame is a dangerous thing. There's some fairly expensive militiamen here I'm tempted to hire. Alright, you know what? Just for the crowd, I think I will buy some paint. Was it Enish? Enish, are you the one who wanted the paint? Definitely a waste of money, but I might do it for fun. Enish wanted black. Alright, I'll pick up some black paint. On which helmet? On Enish's helmet? I guess this is our best hat. I feel like if you're against the US prison system, as in it just makes criminals worse and desocializes them rather than be a restorative thing, you should be against cancel culture. Yeah, I could see the parallels there for sure. The US prison system is absolutely fucked up. And the thing is, when you make someone unemployable, or you try to destroy their lives or whatever, it really does push them into further radicalization for sure. Cancel culture. But the thing is, your arguments are completely going to fall on deaf ears with these fucking people, because they're not interested in having a conversation. They're not interested. Let's go to CSTAT. This will give some time for this ambition to go through. They're not interested in, like, what's right, what's wrong. They're not interested in the long-term view of the thing, even where it might come back and boomerang back on them. You know, where it's like, I can cancel someone today, I might get canceled tomorrow. Things like, who's that late-night dickhead? The comedy show guy who got caught, they found out that, like, when he was running the Man Show, he did blackface or whatever. This is, like, super lefty guy who took great pleasure in laughing about people being canceled, and then, oh, whoops, you made a joke that's now considered too offensive to make. Uh-oh. And you did that 20 years ago, but too bad. You're done, you know. I personally take great pleasure in seeing those people lose their jobs, because they are the ones who push this stuff. But it doesn't matter that can happen and boomerang back on them. It's not a matter of logic. It's not a matter of, you know, right or wrong or anything about that. It's just about political power with these people. So you can't talk your way out of the situation. Whatever you want to call cancel culture, it's here to stay. It's here forever. The only thing that you can do with cancel culture is turn it back on the people and use it against the people who love it so much. It's kind of like fighting fire with fire, I guess. I mean, like, when you're in a war and people are shooting at you, there's really not too many options that you have, you know, in that situation, metaphorically speaking. My recruits list is unimpressive. Do you mean in this? Do you mean in this harbor? Not to become alt-right lefties, but that's the thing, is like, there's no escape. You know, this is the world we live in now. There's no getting away from it. I don't like it. My perfect world, you would not have anybody getting canceled for words that they say on the internet or anywhere else, or jokes that they make. But this is the world we live in. And I don't think in my lifetime we're ever going to get away from it. I think it's a consequence of over-socialization, which is kind of a consequence of social media existing, and a consequence of society becoming less masculine over time. This is doable. This is just going to be thugs. But yeah, there really weren't that many great hires, were there? I had more stuff to sell. The left pushes its... What's this now? The left pushes its agenda on you and demands you comply, or else they will try to destroy you. Simple as that. I agree. Yes. Mazanaka is not a resident of the U.S. It's very strange to me how people don't contest firings from jobs. Yep, I agree. It is strange. Libel on Twitter and court. I tell you, if I ever got fired over political beliefs, I would sue them in a heartbeat. But the problem is, it costs money to sue people, and there are attorneys that will work on contingency, I suppose. But having been through the court system, having sued people multiple times actually, most people do not have the stomach to get through the American legal system and be happy about it at the end. I mean, it's kind of like a meat grinder. It's really, really horrible being involved in a lawsuit, speaking from experience in America. They will, even if you're the plaintiff, the opposing side will find a way to go through every little thing in your life. They'll subpoena and use the discovery phase to essentially make your life goddamn miserable as much as they possibly can. And it's really just not worth doing unless you just have a lot of conviction to get what you're owed, you know. define less masculine? This confuses me. Well, this may be a... I mean, fuck me, this might get me banned from Twitch for saying, but in my opinion... let me couch this in the right terms. In my opinion, it is a masculine trait. It is... And this is not even really an opinion, this is actually science. Mini Brigand Thugs, yeah, we're gonna crush them. Because of the sex hormone testosterone, men are more comfortable, in the general case, not always, but more often than not, are more comfortable than women with conflict. Be it physical conflict, verbal conflict, whatever. But especially physical conflict, but also verbal. And this is played out, I'm sure, in like any you know, social situation you guys have seen in your regular lives. I mean, whenever there's some kind of fight, some kind of argument, usually it's the girl in the room who will say, "Oh well, now come on, we gotta calm down, boys." Whereas guys, I think, can handle a certain level of confrontation without viewing it as a big deal. You can have like a heated. Yeah, I hope you don't regret. If I'm banned from Twitch over this, you're not my friend anymore, and she mad. You know, but it's like, this is, I hate the fact that this is like basic fucking biology, but even talking about it makes me apprehensive on this platform, because it's like, you have these people who believe that men and women are the exact same. Even physically, which is just like totally asinine. Obviously, women are physically weaker than men on average, physically smaller. It's just a fact of life, you know, and you would think this would not be a crazy thing to say, or that anybody could possibly get upset about it. But that's reality, you know? Sexually identify as a wombat. But that's the thing, is there's also, you know, there's other characteristics. And one of them is that, again, because of the sex hormone testosterone, men are more comfortable with conflict than women. In general, again, not always. So when I say that society has become less masculine, I think that we have... there's this word that I only recently learned called posiopathy, where you have this sort of... what's the word I'm looking for? You have this... it's like when something is a disease... pathological. You have this sort of pathological need for everything to be as positive as possible, and I think that most people can kind of not be bothered by this sort of thing. It annoys the hell out of me when, and you'll know it when you see it. One of those people who just like every single word that you say has to be super duper positive, and in my opinion, this is a way of controlling people, because whenever things have to be so positive that you can't even have a disagreement without couching things in these very careful ways, you can control the narrative. You can control what people are even allowed to talk about, you know. And I think that the less masculine a society is, the more posiopathic it becomes. The female mothering instinct, yeah, maybe, yeah. People are applying this to adult stuff. That could be related. I would not necessarily consider optimism a part of that, although I would say that if you're expected to be so optimistic that you can't consider, you know, negative things that could happen, that could be a type of posiopathy, maybe. I don't know, but I'm mostly talking about people, like, I'm sure you guys have been in online discussion, you know, like chat rooms and stuff, where it's like, don't have this argument, you know, don't, and it could just be two people discussing politics calmly. This happens to me all the time, where like I'm just chatting about politics and neither of the people in the conversation are butthurt even a little bit, and I can have like really, it looks to an outsider perhaps, a heated conversation where it's like we're disagreeing vehemently with each other, but I have no hard feelings towards that person, and they have no hard feelings towards me. But you'll always have this third party that rolls in, and they're just so deeply uncomfortable with conflict. And yeah, it's like, you can't say that, that's mean. And you haven't even really insulted the other person, you know, you've just, maybe you said something as simple as like, well, shit, this point is dumb because XYZ, you know. And even something as simple as that could make set somebody off into that sort of posiopathy mode, where it's like, no, everything's got to be so positive. You can't have a disagreement, and it's very, very frustrating. Actually, Mazanaka, I missed that paragraph. What's this now? Writing articles about how women took over education in other fields. I would say communists did that in America, not women. After World War II, there's a very... Oh, you're talking about your country, I see. Well, I mean, yeah, after World War II, I imagine, like, the most masculine men went off to war and a lot of them died. So, I mean, I do have to wonder what effect that had on some of those countries, If almost all of the masculine men in your country ate a bullet, basically, in war, surely that has an impact, on the future of your country, at least for a few generations, But that's just kind of something interesting I thought about. Okay, so Gubu 9 is level 4 now. And we're either gonna give him Colossus or Steelbrow and keep building him as a tank. Maybe Shield Expert. I haven't given anybody Shield Expert yet, but for pure survivability, I have a feeling that, well, his HP is pretty low, so let's give him Colossus. Boom! Suddenly he has 85 HP. What is that emote? Oh, I see. Is that true? Alright, so I pretty much did that thug fight on autopilot, but we crushed thugs pretty easily. Why is my ambition not going through? Escort a caravan to Kulkan Land, 2 days to the northeast. We're definitely not going to Kulkan Land, because that's a hostile territory, so we will be attacked by guards. I have almost 3,000 gold. I should sell some of this crap, I guess. Keep the hand axe. Hand axes can be good, or will be good later. Buy amber for 318? That's a bit expensive, eh? I don't know. Let's test it. Let's see what we can sell it for. I bet you we can sell it for a little bit more at least. It is a bit expensive, I agree, but I'm gonna keep this crossbow in case we ever pick up a ranged guy, which we should at some point. Tops you want to pay? Well, that'd be nice, but this is early game. And we haven't really been able to build up alliances yet. I mean, straight up, I think we've only done missions for Seastat. Oh, should I have gotten the rat catcher? I think we're at the point where we've got the money that we could we could just save up for really good hires. No, I'm not gonna get there before nighttime. Boo! I want to sell so I have the 2,000 crowns. Let's just camp out. Save up for good hires. It is day 15. We're doing so well for this early in the game. It's outrageous. Okay, yeah, I bought for 318. That's sell for 400. This is legitimate profit. Yeah, man. Raiding is the pimp strategy, I have to say. This marketplace has a bill hook. For 2,000 gold. We're not going to purchase the bill hook as much as I want to. I would totally buy a whip, though. Yeah, no whips. Rather buy the pike and the weaponsmith? Is there a pike? Oh, and the weaponsmith. 2,000. Keep thinking the training hall is the weaponsmith. It's this tiny little building back there. 1,700. Expect endgame war by day 50, if not 42. Oh god. Oh boy. I think I really need more hires, more than training my guys up, although we could spend money on training. I don't know, what do you guys think about hiring a militiaman? He comes with his own pike. I almost want to say for the Swordmaster, but I bet he'll be gone. Horst. Yeah, I'd like to get Horst. Dude, we could almost afford Horst. Buy Horst. Well, we can't afford him yet. But we can, what we could do is we could go do another round of raiding. Try to look for dedicated shooters, throwers. Yeah, if I see a hunter, I'd probably get him at this point. Disown noble. I don't like to hire disown nobles. Deserter. Yeah, this is a deserter, and he has a bow. Bro, is that a war bow? No way. If they have a bow, I wonder if that means they're predilected towards ranged combat. Should sail to your other available towns? Maybe. Shit resolve always. Alright. I mean, I will hire Horst, but we can't. We don't have the money. I mean, there's no amount of stuff I could sell to get Horst on my team. If we go raiding, I mean, raiding has been the most profitable thing we've done so far. What I want to do is I want to get so good at fighting with this team that we can take on the supply caravans, because then we'll be so strong, you know? Oh, hey. I'm gonna check on what happens in this event. Cart. Okay, we lose reputation and gain 3 rewards. I don't care about reputation. We're bad boys. 9 tools and supplies, some bread. Okay. Okay, here we go. We got our battle standard. We just paid 1,000 crowns for that, unfortunately. But this does mean that we've got that for 50 to 70 damage, which is an improvement on the Warfork. Hell yeah. We could throw the Warfork on somebody, but I think we'll just save it for our next hire, perhaps. Let's do another round of raiding. What I might do is I might, like, check it out, I might just travel around by land and head to our other cities and see what we've got. Take a nice trip to Dunhaven. And then we'll make it back by sea, perhaps. Okay. And we'll just raid everything we find on the way there. As God intended, the Northern Raiders are raiding. Dude, I gotta use this strategy on like every single... I wonder if it works as well on other starts. Because bear in mind, we are getting slightly more in the way of loot. But honestly, I don't even think it's that much more loot. Like, I wonder if this would work as well on somebody else. Certainly you could at least get the armors. You know, stabbing works the same on everybody, right? Like if you kill somebody with a full durability armor, then even if you're not Northern Raiders, you're gonna get it, yeah? Is it 50%? No, I don't think it gave a number. The music subtly reminds you that you're a D-bag? Is that true? Are we getting like the bad guy music right now? Going for a marathon, you really shouldn't stab people to death. You sort of want to slaughter people as hard as possible. Oh, you mean on this particular trip? Because I'm traveling through? This is the "you're doing a bad thing" music. Oh no. Yeah, I do think bows are better than crossbows, although it's probably easier to get a bunch of endgame crossbows if you can find a way to kill overseers, yeah. We have an awful lot of tools is the thing, so I'm not too afraid of getting my armor busted. Let's see, how much armor does padded leather have? 80. And then lamellar armor is 95. Huh. Goblin, yeah, the goblin heavy crossbow. I think I would like to get at least the leather lamellar armor. By the way, this the blood on the cleavers is proving to be really awesome. It knockbacks the target. You would think it would knock back the goblin too because he's so little, but apparently not. Shield walling, huh? Got some adrenaline abuse here. Except I can't knock out. Damn. Huh. Should have attacked the guy without the shield, actually. Okay, this guy's got shield wall up. Switch to my dagger. 5% chance to hit. Hell no. Okay. I want to knock this guy back and fail. Okay, he comes right back. They're in the shield wall. They get demolished by certain encounters, which is most notably, yeah, I'm gonna need ranged at some point. And bows are ideal for fighting witches because of the extra range, in my opinion, anyway. I want to kill this thing. 52% chance to hit because we knocked out one of those shield walls. Nice. Quick hands is really, really good. I honestly think it might be best to build your sergeant as a quick hands guy who uses mostly ranged, but honestly it's really hard to say. There's so many things you can do in this game that, like, it's kind of hard to decide what's best. We could use nets, but I think we can get away with not. I'd like to move this guy here to separate these guys permanently, but I don't have a shield. So that's probably a mistake. Let's just wait and kind of see what happens. He's shield walling. Yeah, we'll knock him back. It is annoying that both of these are alive. Bows can one-shot a witch. It's super good. Here we go. This is what we wanted. Now they're separated. That means shield wall is not big pimpin', giving them big pimp, big armor, you know? Okay, he is fleeing now. He can flee through the donkey, which is no good. His armor's gonna get messed up a little bit. Quite annoying. Looks like we might get the stab. Yeah. Surprised he's not attacking Enish here. I think they put the sound effect in the game just to make you feel bad about killing the donkey. To remind you that you're doing a bad thing. Oof. Okay, here we go. Got it. Got both armors. Padded leather and leather lamellar. Which honestly... Oh wow, 3 dies? Are you joking? Oh shit. Longer than usual. Probably because I was using the daggers. You just heard more of them. Alrighty. And a real dagger. Still using regular knives on some of our guys. And a nasal helmet, which is an upgrade, I think. Fatigue -5, fatigue -6. Okay. We did take an injury for our trouble there. Yeah, resolve resists charm. I think it's any number above. I think if you're below 45 charm, or below 45 resolve, you are guaranteed to be charmed, and then anything above that is higher chance to not be charmed, if I remember correctly. God, we keep rolling 1s. Okay. So this shield bro, does he want to get a mastery, or does he just want to pick up steel brow? Oh yeah, whoops, I guess I am below 45 resolve on Marrow. Whoops! Well, it's actually higher in combat because of the banner, but yeah, I should have fixed that. Steel brow or shield expert. It's probably going to be steel brow. Getting one-shotted is no good. Our team of tanky bros will continue. Now, we also have a level up on our friend the monk. Steel brow on the bannerman too, yeah, I agree. Stupid +2 fatigue. Maybe HP. Yeah. Very defensive team. Very happy going for defensiveness. You get enough damage from your weapons, you know. Especially I have the one golden dog guy, you know. Whoa. Am I going off the road? Hell no, dude. We're gonna take the long way. Okay, maybe not. Oh, shit. No, 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 no. Wait a minute, I fucked this up. Can I still get away? I'm gonna slow down in the swamp. Oh boy. Should I go ahead and fight this caravan? Yeah. Swampy road, huh? Well, that stamina is because he has reasonably heavy armor on. It would be lower if we had him in lighter armor, but... Did you know that there are many ways that you can help support this channel? Read about them on rosecrypto.com/support. At Rose Crypto, you can learn all about cool things like the Brave web browser, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.